another episode of It's All About the Music. We're all dressed up and we're ready to go, okay? Tonight's episode of All About the Music is going to be me taking a look at the best-selling music artist of all time. And this is something that's interesting. I've always enjoyed pop music, and come on, everybody's enjoyed pop music at one point or another, right? So we're gonna kind of go through the list and see what's popping. See if maybe I have some different opinions of what I think, or I'll let you know what I think about this artist if I know this artist. Now most of these people will know, like these are legitimately, artists that have sold. Let's see, it's starting at the bottom. The lowest one on the totem pole is Aretha Franklin with 75 million albums sold. I gotta be honest, I haven't heard that much music by Aretha Franklin. I need to. I respect her. I think that's her, right? Aretha Franklin sings Respect. Now she was active from '56 to 2018, and she did soul, jazz, blues, and R&B. Yeah, Aretha Franklin, pretty good, right? That's a good. She's the bottom person on the best-selling artist of all time. So we're gonna keep it moving. The next one is Kiss. Again, I'm a huge rock fan. Just have never listened to Kiss. I know I want to rock and roll party every day, and that other one, I know 2 Kiss songs. Couldn't even tell you what the other one is. Barry Manilow, don't know a song by him. Kind of embarrassed. I'm all about the music and just not really. Okay, the next one, awesome. They are on my list of my favorite artist of all time, The Police. Very good band. Definitely deserve the 75 million records that they sold. It looks like they reformed briefly in 2007 and 8. Bob Marley. I do enjoy some songs by Bob Marley. Bob Seger. He's on my list. He's pretty talented. He's been active since '61, believe it or not. Then we got Alabama, a pretty good pop rock country group. Bryan Adams. I actually enjoy a lot of music by Brian. Is that Ryan or Brian? Brian. Yeah, I know a few songs about Brian. Yeah, Ryan Adams isn't on this list. I don't think he's gonna be. Green Day is next. They are sitting here at. They've been active '87 to present. They sort of broke out in '94, and they've sold 75 million albums. About. So Green Day, my favorite band of all time, sitting right there. Definitely deserve it. Enya. The first name on here I've never heard of. Who is Enya? Apparently I'm a doofus. I've never heard of Enya. Kenny G. Again, I'm just going to be honest here. I don't know who Kenny G is or what he does. What does he do? Next up, Nirvana. Definitely, this is all 75 million albums sold. Nirvana changed the face of rock and roll with their classic Nevermind and In Utero, and even their debut was pretty darn rockin', right? Nirvana definitely deserved to be on this list. Tupac Shakur, definitely when I do listen to hip hop, Tupac is one that I do enjoy. So yeah, Tupac definitely deserves that. Robbie Williams, I've heard a few songs and I don't like any of them. R. Kelly, yeah, despite how you may feel about R. Kelly, he does have some pretty good R&B music. Definitely, he is on my list as well. I haven't checked out his entire discography yet, but I'm getting to it. I will. That was an interesting topic today on one of the rock forums, is should you stop listening to someone's music if they commit a crime? We've all committed crimes. And, even if they do something really dastardly, really evil, I think it's okay to listen to their music. Sure, it could be fueling some of their criminal activities, but, I don't know. Maybe we'll dive into that later. Shakira. She's a pop artist, but I actually enjoy Shakira. Definitely feel like she deserves it. Most of these people are pretty deserving of their fame and fortune, right? The Black Eyed Peas, they are on my list, although I don't know. I gotta give that new album a listen and see what's going on with the Black Eyed Peas. Some of their music is really unbearable. Usher, sure. Usher's all right. He's talented for sure. I know a few songs by Usher. Journey, yeah, Journey is big. And Tim McGraw, yeah, Tim McGraw is on my list. And he impressed me. Not a huge country fanatic. I'm more of a rock nerd, but Tim McGraw definitely very good. So yeah, you got. Okay, we're moving on to the 80 million. People have sold 80 million records. Johnny Hallyday. Who is that? Who is that? He's from France. He sold 80 million records. I've never heard of him. Tom Petty. Huge. Definitely one of the biggest names in rock and roll, right? Tom Petty deserves it all the way. His solo work, his bands, all great. Meatloaf, one of my favorites. So yeah, no arguments with Meatloaf. The Doors, I know you guys are going to kill me. There's just some classic bands that I just have never listened to for some reason. And The Doors and Led Zeppelin are those. Please don't crucify me. I'm trying to give them both a chance. I'm listening to so much music right now. I will get around to them, I promise. The Doors and Led Zeppelin, they will get my attention eventually. Foreigner, I've seen them in concert. They're pretty good. Yeah, definitely a great catalog from Foreigner. George Michael, he's okay. Red Hot Chili Peppers, one of my all-time favorites. From 83 to present, sold 80 million records. Pretty impressive. Ayuma Hamasaki. It's J-pop. I've never heard it. I cannot comment. Van Halen. I'm not the biggest Van Halen fan. I have recently kind of started listening to their albums, but it's just not my flavor of rock and roll. It just isn't. It just is not my style of rock. I do like it, but it's just not really grabbing me. Flo Rida, sure. One of the better hip-hop artists out there, for sure. I can see that. REM, one of the bands that basically created the alternative rock scene. We wouldn't have many of my favorite artists if it weren't for REM. They formed near here, just a couple of states away. And REM, yeah, definitely huge. And I really respect REM. Even though I never want any of my favorite bands to break up, I respect REM because they put it the best way possible. They accomplished their dream, they accomplished their goals, and that's it. They accomplished their dreams. They did what they set out to do with the band, and that's all there is to it. They said they want to be the first rock band to hold true to their word that they're never going to reform. It's kind of heartbreaking, but kind of awesome that they said, hey, we achieved our lifelong dreams, and they all came true. It's pretty awesome. Justin Timberlake, I used to kind of make fun of him, but he's got some good songs. Johnny Cash, I am trying to figure out how I'm going to. I don't know what to do about Johnny Cash. He's on my list of my favorite artists of all time. I want to listen to everything, but Johnny Cash has like 8,000 studio records. He's got like 8 trillion hours of music. I don't know how to start. How do you listen to all of Johnny Cash's discography? I mean, there's like, without exaggerating, he's got at least 80 studio albums, which means it's probably at least 40 hours. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what Johnny Cash accomplished from 54 to 2003. It's unbelievable. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Don't know a lot of songs by them, but they are good. They've got some catchy tunes. Lionel Richie, again, not super familiar. I've heard a few songs. Pretty good. The Carpenters. Don't know anything by the Carpenters. Pink. Pink, as a pop artist, gets a lot of respect from rock fans as well. Punk and rock fans. That's pretty cool. So, that's pretty cool, right? Pink is awesome. Shania Twain, a good country singer. She's the spouse of someone else on this list. So that's pretty cool. They're worth a lot of money. Barry White. Don't know much about Barry White. The Who. That's my band right there. The Who. My favorite 60s band, period. Donna Summer. I don't know much by her. I did hear that she basically invented that really dated 80s sound. Is that true? I don't know. I was talking about how the bands that have been around for a while, like the bands that are around in the 50s or 60s, they all put out these horrible sounding albums in the 80s, and someone told me that was Donna Summer's fault. I hate you, Donna Summers. Don't really hate her, don't know her music. The Beach Boys, I need to deep dive into it. I think I would enjoy them. Don't know. Linda Ronstadt, don't know anything about her. Tina Turner, yeah, sure. David Bowie, I've been getting into David Bowie lately. Olivia Newton-John, don't know anything by her. James Taylor, nope. Don't know anything by him. Stevie Wonder, yeah, sure. Genesis, pretty cool. They're not on my list, but they're cool. Cher, yeah. Cher is awesome. You guys remember that aircraft carrier? If I could turn back time and I give it all to you, just to bring back the words that you hurt me. That's my childhood right there. Oh, Cher. Def Leppard. Yeah, I've seen Def Leppard in concert, and yeah, one-armed drummer. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. They're not on my list again, but they're somewhat in my realm of knowledge. Bob Dylan, he's got some great songs. I typically like his songs better when someone else is singing them. Sorry, Bob. Chicago, don't really know much by Chicago. Dire Straits, loving some Dire Straits. Julio Iglesias, yeah, he's got some good poppy songs. Janet Jackson, yeah, she deserves it. Simon and Garfunkel, yeah, love Simon and Garfunkel. Paul McCartney, Kenny Rogers, yeah, like Kenny Rogers. Prince, yeah, that Batman soundtrack, banging, bro. Yeah. Okay, I've been watching too much YouTube. Santana, for sure. Neil Diamond, gave him a shot, not my cup of tea. Eric Clapton, one of the greatest guitar players of all time. I don't know much about his music. George Strait, yeah, pretty good country music. Backstreet Boys, yeah, I mean, they deserve it. Guns N' Roses, definitely one of the best, one of the most successful hard rock groups out there, for sure. Britney Spears, I have listened to her entire discography, and it's awful. Ugh. What a huge waste of time. BZs from Japan, they've sold 100 million albums, and I've never heard of them. Bon Jovi, yeah, I love some Bon Jovi. Linkin Park, come on, one of the greatest 2000s bands ever, right? I'm anxious to see what Linkin Park does in the upcoming whatever they plan on doing without Chester. They got to figure something out, and it's got to be good, because I don't know. They need to figure out what they're gonna do. Maybe, and I am not. Bands change lineups all the time, and maybe Linkin Park can go on like with Mike Shinoda fronted Linkin Park. But I don't know. The Chester vocals, I just don't know what they're going to do. Like it makes me, like I feel like maybe they could find somebody even better. I don't know. But it's very sad. I wish that Chester were back. Really affects me. I think about him a lot. So Coldplay, they're good. I understand why people would like them. Beyonce, yeah, love some Beyonce. Back in middle school with Destiny's Child, so totally get that. Nicki Minaj, she's a little obnoxious, but I like it. She's a little bit. She's just weird enough. She's not like bland like some of the other pop rappers that are out there where they're just like, shoes, and then they mumble stuff that I don't know what they're talking about. Bee Gees. Yeah, Bee Gees, Rod Stewart. Okay, yeah, I like Rod Stewart. Fleetwood Mac. I deep dived into the Fleetwood Mac catalog. Totally worth it. From 60s till present. Some massive lineup changes. But pretty fun to listen to. If you like rock and roll, definitely do Fleetwood Mac. Lil Wayne. Interesting rapper. I've enjoyed some of his work. Adele, she's on my list. She's pretty darn good. Buddy, what are you doing? Trying to do YouTube here. Maroon 5. I had somebody buy me their Songs About Jane album. And beyond that album and a few good singles, this band is trash now. Get them off this list, people. Somebody else sell them. Lady Gaga, yeah, one of the better pop singers of our time. We got Metallica, definitely a great heavy metal band. Jay-Z, he's on my list. Metallica's on my list. Adele's on my list. Bruno Mars, this is some of the best pop right here in this 130 million to 150 million range. They're selling some serious content here, people. Serious content. Bruce Springsteen selling 135 million albums from 72 to present. Springsteen's awesome. Thumbs up. Kanye West. Yeah, I like Kanye West. Chris Brown. Who is that? I don't know who Chris Brown is. I'm serious. Katy Perry. Yeah, I'm digging some Katy Perry. Frank Sinatra. I guess. ABBA? Yeah, maybe. Aerosmith? Yeah. Phil Collins? Yeah. Barbra Streisand? I don't know. U2? Yes, very good rock band. Billy Joel? Yeah. Uptown Girl, she been living in my uptown world. Ed Sheeran? No. Justin Bieber? No. Drake? Gosh. Now Drake is the first one that kind of you saw me make that face? Yeah, I don't like anything about Drake. How did he sell 170 million albums when he sounds so bland? He looks so bland. His music is bland. There's just nothing interesting about Drake at all. That's the first one that I'm just like, bleh, strongly dislike Drake. Moving on to the 200 million category. We've got some really great ones here. The Rolling Stones. I've heard that they're almost worth the money of a concert ticket. AC/DC. Yep, no matter who's fronting them, AC/DC is pretty awesome. I think AC/DC is kind of at the point now where they could replace, like AC/DC might continue on for the rest of eternity. Celine Dion, yep, really liking her. Whitney Houston, yeah, I've been listening to some of her music lately. She's very talented. Queen, one of the best rock groups of all time. Come on, they deserve that 200 million albums sold from 71 to present. I even like Queen plus Adam Lambert. I like Queen plus Paul Rodgers. Come on, man. They're epic, right? They're a band. I hope they keep going forever too. The Eagles. I have tackled the entire discography of the Eagles, and I was not impressed. It was some of the most boring rock and roll ever. But they had some good singles. Mariah Carey had some good singles. Taylor Swift, she's got, a few good singles. Eminem, yep, he deserves it. Probably the best rapper of all time, right? So moving on, we're up in the, we're here, people. We're here. We're here at the upper echelon. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the 8 greatest selling artists in the history of the world. Oh, there's a bed there. Did you guys put a bed in my bedroom? That's weird. Don't do that. Whee! Ha! Okay. Oh, sorry, buddy. Okay. At least I didn't throw him into the wall. He's hey, buddy, he's shaking it off. Very good. So, the top 8 best-selling artists in all the universe. Yes. Oh man, this is awesome. Glad that it's still, still kind of rock and rolling up here. So, number 8 best-selling artist of all time, Pink Floyd. They're on my list. They're way down on my list, but they're good. I get why there's. I don't quite understand how they became popular. Their sound is not. It's not pop at all. But I'm glad. I really enjoy some of Pink Floyd's work, and they to have sold 250 million records, they're doing something right. Okay, moving on. Rihanna. She has just hopped on this list pretty recently, but 250 albums. I like her singles. I really do. Again, with the pop artist, you usually can't deep dive into their discography and like everything. A lot of filler, a lot of just straight up garbage. Anyway, moving on. Led Zeppelin. I mentioned them earlier. They sold 300 million albums. I've never really listened to Led Zeppelin, and a lot of people, when I tell them that, they're just like, get away from me. You scare me. Why are you not blasting Led Zeppelin 2 all the time? Or, their last album. Why are you not blasting just all their albums all the time? I'm going to. Maybe I'll do a video series about it, about me listening to Led Zeppelin, and you guys don't believe me when you're watching me listen to it, like Hip Hop Head or whatever. But anyway, Led Zeppelin, yeah, they deserve it. Just not my kind of flavor of rock and roll. Madonna, I have listened to her entire discography, and I was not impressed. I didn't really particularly enjoy any of Madonna's music, aside from a single here or there that just kind of reminded me of my childhood. But yeah, I mean, I get why she's popular. She's a pop singer, and she's pretty creative. She's artistic, so I give her that. She's Madonna bleep. Okay, Elton John. This is one, he sold 300 million albums, and I'm listening to his discography now. He's got 30 plus albums that I'm going through, and I'm sort of jumping all over the place, but wow, yeah, I just watched Rocket Man, was not impressed with the film, but Elton John can sing, he can play the piano. I understand that he's maybe written some lyrics sporadically, but man, Elton John is killer talented. You just hear it when you're listening to him. Just everything about him just screams professional musician. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's mediocre, but it's never bad with Elton John. So, yeah, he deserves it. Okay, we are in the top three biggest artists of all time. You guys probably know who these are, right? You have to. You have to. It's not, the Baha Men. It's not whoever the heck sang the Macarena. It's not Smash Mouth. I like Smash Mouth. I love Smash Mouth. But none of them are in this. Okay, this is the big time. Okay, with 350 million albums sold, Mr. Michael Jackson. When I was in kindergarten and first grade, people asked me who my favorite musician was. Michael Jackson. Bad and Black or White. All those earlier singles, just, yeah. Michael Jackson was definitely the king of pop there for a long time. And welcome. You guys want me to finish? We are going to the top selling artist of all time. And there's a massive, oh my gosh. They've sold like twice as many albums as Michael Jackson. You kidding me? It's really weird nobody's ever going to sell 1 billion copies. Wouldn't that be crazy if like a new musician came out and sold 7 billion copies of their new album? It's never going to happen. There's never going to be anybody in the music industry with that kind of success. Anyway, number 2, biggest selling artist of all time. The King, Elvis freaking Presley. Okay, I like Elvis. I grew up on a lot of his songs. You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog, That Ring Around Your Neck. I just recently got into Only Fools Rush In, but I can't help falling in love with you. Yeah, Elvis Presley. Yeah, I mean, come on. He sold, get this, people, 600 million copies of his music. 600 million. I'm happy that I got 1,000 plays on SoundCloud. I'm happy when I get 2 views on YouTube. Like and subscribe, people. Like and subscribe. If you like and subscribe right now, and I'll tell you who the #1 artist of all time is. Okay, otherwise, you are not going to know that it's the Beatles, John, Paul, Ringo. That's it, right? John, Paul, and Ringo. Yeah. George Harris. John, Paul, Ringo, George. John, Paul, Ringo, George. Have you guys heard of this band, the Beatles? It's not ringing a bell. Formed in 60. They broke up in 70. Must not have been too successful. They performed rock and pop. They first had chart success in 1962. I bet they don't have any SoundCloud plays. The Beatles. I have 1,000 plays on YouTube. I do. How many plays does John Lennon have on SoundCloud? Huh? Freaking amateurs. They were only around 10 years. My band has been around. Oh, yeah, they've been around. My band's been around longer than the Beatles. I'm kind of butthurt. Like, no, seriously. I mean, this is the ultimate dream of any musician. 600 million plus albums sold by the Beatles. They were active 60 to 70 in the United Kingdom. They charted in 62 with their rock pop blend. And yeah, so 600 million copies plus. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So yeah, most of the people on this list, I would say, other than Drake, boot them off the list. And you know, maybe I need to give Drake a shot. I will. I'll go and listen to him. Other than Drake, these people are, and some of the ones from France and Japan that I wasn't familiar with. I think somebody's like trying to visit me, but they didn't call first, or my phone's in there. But I'm doing a YouTube video. It can't be helped. Dad's just gonna be locked out, I guess. But yeah, the Beatles. The Beatles. They're not my personal number one, but I totally get why they are the number one. I've listened to their entire discography, and yeah, it's the Beatles. They paved the way for everyone. When you see interviews by any musician, and they are asked who was your inspiration, it doesn't matter if it's Marilyn Manson. It doesn't matter if it's a pop rock band that formed in 2021, 2022, 2023, 2030, 2040, 2050, 2060, the year 3000. When an interviewer asks someone, what was your inspiration to make music? It's always the Beatles. Freaking flat out. Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie, Green Day, everyone. It was the Beatles. They started all this. I may not be making YouTube videos if it wasn't for the Beatles. There might not be a YouTube. There might not be a planet Earth if it wasn't for this band that was only around for 10 years. Can you imagine? And this kind of breaks my heart. I've been talking a lot about System of a Down and how they're not able to figure it out. Could you imagine what the Beatles would be doing today if they had kept going? Now, I know that some of them are no longer with us, but you know, people leave bands, people die. I feel like Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr could make a Beatles record, and it could be great. You know, sure, some people would riot in the streets of England. People would riot all over the world. But some people would enjoy it. I mean, look at Queen and Adam Lambert. They are having some of the biggest concerts of their career without Freddie Mercury. Right? Sometimes a band can transcend AC/DC. They've went through multiple lead singers. Drowning Pool, to a lesser extent, haven't had a whole lot of huge success. But you can lose members. You can replace every member of your band as long as something is there, as long as the magic is still there with somebody. You can do it. So yeah, that's been my look at the best-selling music artist of all time. And you know, a lot of my favorites are on here. A lot of my favorites are on this list. Not all of them. There's some of the poppier ones that you know, are not my bag, but even the pop ones, the pop and the country and the R&B and the rap, you know, it's all good, right? It's all part of our popular music, and this is the ultimate ranking of them. And I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you guys have stayed around to the end. And I'm pretty proud of this video. So please like and subscribe. like and subscribe. I've got some. I keep getting better and better at this YouTube game, and you know, I'm pretty proud of what I've done so far, and I'm having fun with you guys. So please, please like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Beal.